Now at 6, we're getting a new look at the damage caused by strong storms today. So check this out. This is damage to a home. This is located up in the Broad Ripple area along Winthrop Avenue. This is right near 54th Street. Look at that massive tree falling right there on the top of the house, and you can see crime scene tape is there blocking it off, trying to keep people safe.
And as Ann mentioned, a tree did fall on top of the home. It's not the only damage, though, we've seen this afternoon. I want to show you the scene at 43rd and Meridian. This is on the near north side of Indianapolis. You can see part of the street is flooded right now, and we've got a tree down in the road.
In fact, we've seen damage all across central Indiana, talking from Greenfield to Columbus and Lebanon. And now tonight, thousands of people are still without power after the storms came through. So Rob Ellis is in tonight with Angela. We've also got Sean here tonight, as this is a big weather story.
Yeah, and we're not done. There's now a third wave that's pushing through, and that one's producing a lot of gusty winds. Let me get right into it and show you. On the southwest side of the city, we do have one cluster of thunderstorms that's trying to push through south of Plainfield, eventually into Martinsville. But let me take you to the wider picture to show you this huge severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued by the National Weather Service because of this bow echo that's now pushing through Putnam County, eventually pushing to the south and east, likely will stay south and west of the city. But this one is producing some very heavy rain. Let me move the map for you. This is where we see that little bow echo, and sometimes when we get into these darker colors, this black that's showing up on the radar, good indication that we're seeing some hail with this, probably some 60+ mile-per-hour winds back to the west. There has been some damage, some tree damage from this storm, likely pushing right into Cloverdale, and because of that, I wanted to show you what it looks like right now in Cloverdale. This is the NDOT camera from Interstate 70 looking into the storm at this point. Going to be watching that very carefully. It is all pushing south and east. This likely will impact Bloomington at some point, as it has to use up the rest of the energy in the atmosphere. The threat for today is mainly focused on Cincinnati, but look, our storm threat stays with us tomorrow and as we look into tomorrow. So keep in mind that you can watch the radar at any time on our streaming channel, WTHR Streaming. That's where you can find all the latest temperatures, the radar, of course, and the forecast for the next several hours.
Yeah, good reminders. Thanks so much, Rob. So if you live here in Indianapolis, you'll see a significant jump in what you'll pay to register your vehicle next year.
Today, Rich Nye tells us how much more you'll pay and why the City County Council voted to overrule the mayor on this particular issue.
Indianapolis leaders pushed the State House for more funding for the streets of Indiana's largest city with the most lanes of traffic. The state responded with legislation offering $50 million for road repairs to Indianapolis. But the city had to find $50 million in new revenue to match those dollars. The Democrat-controlled City County Council on Monday night voted to override the mayor's veto to pass vehicle registration tax increases.
I did what I feel is important for our community. We all recognize that the infrastructure in our community is absolutely horrible, and again, it required us to take a hard vote in order to secure $50 million.
They stood up, cheered, and congratulated each other on raising our taxes. That's a very poor display of public service.
Republicans and Mayor Joe Hogsett promoted plans without tax increases. The mayor did not stick around for the vote, but responded Tuesday in part. Adding new financial strain to households already stretched thin is, in my view, the wrong path forward. But the council has made its decision. So this is the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek that I drive for Channel 13 while I'm working. This year, Channel 13 paid $35.80 in the vehicle surtax. Next year, that will be $100. The excise surtax more than doubles for most vehicles to a flat fee of $100. Commercial vehicles will pay a $240 wheel tax. Supporters say that's necessary to keep up with the annual state match, which keeps increasing over the next 5 years, rising to $100 million, but only if Indianapolis raises an equal amount for road projects. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
So the state law that provides the matching funds says those funds can only be used for actual vehicle roads, not for bike lanes, bike trails, greenways, or even for sidewalks.
Want to give you a live look now at I-465 and I-69 on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Today, we learned this massive construction project is just about complete. So that's certainly good news for all of us that drive through that area every day. Tonight, our Samantha Johnson has an update for us on this Clear Path project.
Well, drivers have endured the cones and construction here for the better part of 4 years, and now INDOT tells me we are 90% complete and really just a few months from wrapping this thing up.
465 at I-69 is busy.
It's the second most traveled corridor in the state, so this is carrying about 125,000 cars a day.
And that's why Jordan Yaney with INDOT tells me the Clear Path project is making this 5-mile stretch more efficient and safer. You may have noticed major progress over the weekend, opening all of the new 465 eastbound lanes from Keystone to 56th Street over on the east side.
Everybody is on new lanes, new roadway, all the lanes are open.
And the progress this summer doesn't stop there.
Later this month, we're going to be opening a new ramp from 465 eastbound and northbound Benford to 82nd Street. That's one of those final steps in the main interchange of 465 and 69 that we're really excited about. Within the next month, hopefully in September, we will have the 56th Street ramp open. And I know a lot of people have been asking about that.
Until then, pay attention to those new signs and don't end up like this guy. So hang in there, we are in the final stretch. The Clear Path construction on 465 is expected to wrap up this year. On the northeast side, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
INDOT also announced it is increasing the speed limit on eastbound 465 between Keystone and 56th and Shadeland. The speed limit is increasing from 45 to 55 miles per hour beginning next Monday as crews open up some additional lanes in that area. Also important to tell you that the speed limit is staying at 45 for the westbound traffic and along I-69 through the interchange. And once work is complete, INDOT tells us speed limits will go back up to 65 miles per hour.
Indiana is now getting a new look at how our students are performing in the classroom as this year's iLearn scores are out. So this is a test that measures how well the students who are in grades 3 through 8 are learning in math, reading, and writing. Also, there's a big change to the test this year. Here's more from our Emily Longnecker. Emily.
Well, students used to take this test once a year at the end of the year. That changed this year, though, when the state redesigned the iLearn test. So now students are tested throughout the year several times a year. And because of that change, education officials say that sets a new baseline for iLearn results going forward that future results will be measured against. The 2025-26 school year is the first school year all grades 3 through 8 use the new system. It measures students in math, reading, and writing and scores them on 4 different levels: below and approaching proficiency, and at or above proficiency. This year, 42% of students are at or above proficiency in reading and writing. 43% were at or above proficiency in math. Indiana's Education Secretary, Dr. Katie Jenner, acknowledges there's work to be done in both areas.
Our goal will be, just like we've seen the improvements in reading, our goal will be to move the needle, as aggressively as we can for all of the students across our state in English language arts and math.
Parents will receive a report 4 times a year that shows where their child is struggling and where they're doing well. Parents will also have online access to resources that can help their child in the subjects where they're having difficulties. Indiana Secretary of Education Dr. Katie Jenner says just like it took time to bring the state's iRead scores up, she says it's going to take some time to bring the state's iLearn results up. And she says that this year's results are a new baseline to start from. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.